Hey everyone, it's Ingrid, and welcome to White Coat Ministries. We're starting a new series for neurodivergent medical students, people that have ADHD, dyslexia, or anyone whose brain just doesn't fit the traditional system. Remember, your mind is not broken. You just need study methods tailored to how your brain works. And here are 5 tips to actually help. Tip number 1: use active recall. Teach the material out loud. Draw it. Listen while you move. Your brain learns by doing, not just staring at a page. Tip number 2: if you've never heard of Pomodoro method, it's simple. It's just studying in a short, focused burst with planned breaks so your brain doesn't burn out. So for neurodivergent students, try this version. 10 minutes of focus and then 2 minutes of break on a low focus day. You keep doing this in intervals until you're done with your study session. For normal days, try 20 minutes of focus and 5 minutes of break and keep doing this in intervals until you finish your study session. And when you have hyper focused days, let's say you're trying to study for a quiz or an exam, 45 minutes of focus and 15 minutes of break when you're doing this. And during your break, you want to make sure you move your body. You want to make sure you stretch. You want to make sure you have breathe ins, breathe out, and use that time to also pray. And what I like to do is to start each study block with Lord, order my thoughts. Remember, your brain works best in cycles. It's not a marathon. Tip number 3: don't try to read everything. Start with visual resources like Sketchy, Dirty Medicine, Osmosis, Boards and Beyond to get the big picture. Then you skim the text or your lecture notes for high yield sections. See if there's any summary tables, any bolded terms. Remember, you're not reading for every detail, you're reading to fill in the gaps. Okay? So, also, use text to speech while you move. Let your device read the chapters to you while you walk, while you're cleaning, while you're stretching, while you're cooking, and even while you're commuting back from school. This turns passive reading into active listening, which is easier for ADHD and dyslexic brains. Tip number 4: if your lectures are in person, sit near the front. I know sometimes you don't want to sit in the front, but it really helps you focus. When you're taking notes, take micro notes. No long sentences, just 5 buzzwords. Or you can do 3 to 5 buzzwords for your recall, and try to turn those buzzwords into make them to questions. So when you're recalling it back, you're asking yourself a question. And during your breaks, please stand, please stretch. Use that time to move your body. Now, if you're in a live recorded, some schools they record the lecture live, um, and you can watch at home or in the library. Make sure you're changing positions every 10 to 5 minutes during the lecture. And also engage in the chat if there's that possibility, just to keep you focused. And if the speed is too slow, uh, you know, you can just increase the speed up for playback. Take micro notes as well. Remember 3 to 5 buzzwords and make diagrams. This helps you just stay engaged in the lecture and reduce boredom. So remember, your attention isn't broken, it just needs movement, stimulation, and structure. Lastly, tip number 5. The biggest thing for neurodivergent minds is avoiding rote memorization because your brain wasn't designed to memorize endless lists. Neurodivergent minds learn through meaning, through connections, through patterns and storytelling, not repetition. So here's how to replace those memorization with true understanding. You're going to turn concepts into stories. Your brain remembers narratives better than isolated facts. So I'll give you an example. Instead of memorizing beta blockers decrease heart rate, think of it like this. Imagine your heart as a car and the beta blockers as a brake pedal. So when you're driving the car, right? Every time you hit the brakes, it stops the car. So that's what beta blockers do. They decrease heart rate. So instead of just memorizing facts, you create a story in your mind. Secondly, remember that stories give your brain something to hold on to. You'll always remember that story. Second is use pattern recognition. Group information by similarities instead of trying to memorize everything item by item. For example, group drugs by their mechanisms, right? Their mode of actions, instead of just memorizing each drug separately, and also group them by their side effects. If you're learning about bacteria, group bacteria by their shape, their stain, or their transmission route. Remember, patterns reduce a lot of cognitive load and it helps ADHD brains make sense of all the chaos. Teach concepts out loud. If you can teach it, you can understand it. For example, find a friend, a study partner, and explain to them the why behind a disease. Teaching forces your brain to organize information. Use spaced repetition, but only for details. You don't need to memorize everything, just high yield facts. So use tools like Anki and Quizlet. Let these apps handle the repetition so your brain can just focus on the understanding. Then, lastly, connect new information to something you already know. Your brain learns best when it can attach new facts to old knowledge. For example, if you're learning a concept of pharmacology, use real life scenarios. So if you're, let's think, oh, you have allergies, right? And what allergy meds should I take? So when I'm going to the grocery store and I'm going to the pharmacy section and I'm having allergies, I'm feeling snuffy and all stuffed up, what am I going to pick? You know, am I going to pick Benadryl? Well, I drove to the pharmacy, right? So if I want to take that medication right there and then, if I take a Benadryl, I'll be drowsy. And driving while drowsy is not good. So that's a first generation, right? So I'm going to choose a drug that's second generation, which is Claritin or Loratadine, because it doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier. So I can take that Claritin or that Loratadine perfectly fine and drive safely back home. So this is the way you should think, how you kind of connect new information to something you already know, because connections make the information stick. So let us pray. Lord, as I plan to study this material, sharpen my understanding, my comprehension, and my analysis so I can teach it to someone else, and be the vessel you want me to be. For you have not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. In Jesus' name I pray. Remember, your brain isn't the issue. You just need a study method tailored to how your mind works. And the mind is enough for the calling on you. If you like this topic, like, comment, and subscribe. And bye for now. Take care.